Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are glad you're here for another great episode on Breaking Chains and Taking Names, where you have the famous money coach Mary RN, myself, and we are honored to have a special guest, Jason Madsen. Now, Jason, I have to say, I met him as a coach, was very awesome. He introduced me to a program, loved it. He's been a very good guy. We've talked several times. He's a very good motivational person. He'll lift you up, he'll encourage you, and he is a wonderful coach. So we are honored to have you here today, and we're going to be talking about the healthy self-image. So how are you doing today, Jason?
Good afternoon, David, Mary. Good to be with you both and everyone listening. Today is a wonderful day, and I'm so glad to be alive. I'm so glad to be part of this conversation. And healthy self-image is something that I've really been focusing on the last couple of years. And so I'm excited to talk about it.
You know, when I first heard healthy self-image, I'm thinking, okay, so I need to get to the gym and kind of like work out a little bit, so I can get healthy,
Mhm.
or I need to hurry up and eat some vegetables and eat some fruits so I can get healthy. So are we talking about the outside or the inside? But then I was like, but it's more of the image, not necessarily the image. So this is going to be a good, deep conversation.
We'll go as deep as you'd like. Open as a book, transparent.
I wish I had a book I could just open up. Oh, it's always fun when we have you. We had you once before. It's always great when you're here, Jason. So I'm just going to start it off and say, um, I know Mary being an RN. She's a wonderful coach and an RN. So who better to know about self-image, healthy wise, than Mary that can shock you back to life from whatever seems to happen?
Yep, physically and mentally. That's what I tell my husband all the time. I'm like, look, dude, I can bring you back to life if I want to. Don't irritate me.
Yeah, I've always wondered that because, I know never to take you off because
Nope.
you can take me out, bring me back just to take me out again,
If
to
I
bring me
want.
back to take me out again.
Yeah.
A long torture as long as she wants.
Mhm.
So don't take her off.
Right.
So, Jason, healthy self image. What is a good self image in your book?
I think it goes into the depths of your soul and your spirit. Ultimately, being of sound mind and body at all times. And regardless of what other people think, knowing that you are putting forth your best effort to contribute to this world and honoring God in the process. That is, in a nutshell, what I think it means to have a healthy self image.
And I think that's powerful because one of the biggest keys is a bad tree cannot bear good fruit, just like a good tree cannot bear bad fruit. It's always the inside that shows out. We look at somebody and we're like, I want what they have.
Mm.
I want what they got. But we would never be able to handle what they have because we didn't go through what it took to get that. What you do in secret, what you do in private, building up before you get there is what is able to keep you so that you're able to keep it for one. And two, you got it because of your experience. So it is key of building up inside and then the inside coming outward. Awaken from inside. I love that.
Yeah.
I had to throw that in there.
Yeah. And from your perspective, eating healthy can tend to lead to a healthy self image. exercising regularly can tend to leading to a healthy self-image, because you look yourself in the mirror and think, is this who I want to become?
Mhm.
And if you don't and you don't like it, then you take action, you change.
Right.
That's what a lot of people do. They tend to wait until January 1, around New Year's resolution time,
Right.
in that regard. But it can start today.
Mhm.
You can just choose to change your trajectory that you're on.
I love how you brought up January 1st, because January 1st, we know that a lot of people, probably about 50% of the people, have a New Year's resolution. And about 45% of the people have a life change. Everybody's trying to change their life January 1st. So New Year's resolution looks like this: I'm not going to cuss anymore. The first week, well, I'm not going to say these, I'm going to not cuss except for these words. And then a week later, well, I'm only going to cuss 5 times a day. You know, we start off with a goal, but we realize it's impossible, so we change it and we change it and we change it. And then sometimes we still keep it, and sometimes we just say, forget it. I blew the New Year's resolution.
Right.
It's interesting you say that, because typically you are adapting to allow the behavior
Mhm.
instead of changing it or correcting course,
Hmm. Wow.
right?
Yeah.
Yep.
You're accepting that, oh, well, I am flawed, so I guess I'll just continue to do it this way, versus saying, I don't cuss anymore, right?
Yep. Well,
When
that's
you
what,
say that, it becomes an identity.
yep.
Mhm.
I'm not a cusser, right? I'm not a smoker, whatever, right?
Yep. And that's why it's powerful to have a coach, is because we'll push you in the right direction. You know, change those words. You don't want to say that. But when you don't, it's so easy, because we are creatures of habit. We don't like to
Mhm.
change,
Right.
and change is hard. That means I have to do something different. But most of the people in this world um, are insane. They do the same thing they did yesterday and expect a different result,
Mhm.
you know? But it's so easy to just say it. I'm going to bring this up. I heard, matter of fact, recently, I found this statistic out, and I knew it was something like it. I just didn't know it was this: a gym membership. Most of the people that have a membership don't even go.
Right.
Now, what I found out is this particular chain, for each gym, they get 10,000 people to pay for a membership, because 9,500 of them never even show up. They get the membership. Oh, I'm going to go. I'll get there eventually. I need to change, so I'll get there. But they never do. Most of the people, when they join, first week, they're there every single day. Second week, 3 times a week. Second month, once a week. Third month, once a month, if that. Gym memberships love those kind of people,
Sure.
because they're not big enough to hold. They charge so little, and they cannot keep the doors open with that small price. So they expect a lot of people to pay that don't show up, because they can't hold everybody.
Mhm.
If a gym had 10,000 people, they'd be shut down by the sea. Too many people, too crowded, right?
Fire
Well,
hazard.
Yeah.
right. And if you want, if you're going to work out, you don't want to work out with 85 people in there. You want a lesser amount of people in there.
Hmm.
That would be the most interesting flash mob ever. They just bombard the gym all at once. Mass text message, go to the gym now. Oh,
We
That'd
gotta
be
go.
awesome, just to see their expression. The panic. Oh my gosh, what do we do?
They shut the doors.
and there's two different ways to look at that membership, right? Those that are becoming lazier and lazier so they don't go as often, or the ones that are actually achieving their goal and they're doing the work elsewhere.
Yeah.
So they don't need to go to the gym as often.
Mhm.
I think the reason they hold the gym membership. I have a gym membership. You know, they didn't say whether they win or not. They just said they have a gym membership. It's bragging rights. Well, I take care of myself. I have a gym membership. How often do you go should be the next question. Because most of the people that say I have a gym membership, and if you say how often do you go, they're either going to lie or they're going to be ashamed.
Yeah.
Well, I go 4 times a week. Do you? Let me show up when you're there. Let's work out together.
Right.
You know. So it was funny because I had a gym membership up until the pandemic, and I went every single day. I went for the activities. I went for the pool. I went for yoga. I went for a lot of the good stuff. I even had a personal trainer. COVID hit, and the gym was shut down. Um, it was easy for me to go every single day because I'm the type of person, if I'm paying for it, I'm going to go. So I went every single time I could so I can get my money's worth. But when they basically shut down, they refunded us those months they were shut down, and then I just canceled it because it's like, when they started back up, it's like I didn't have no. Once you had a 3 month gap, you don't have the energy to go back. When you're doing it over and over, you stay in the momentum.
You lose the habit when you break it.
Yeah, 21 days you break the habit. And so afterwards, when they came back up, I paid 1 month and I was like, I'm not going to be going, cancel it. And the only reason I realized is because they hit my card and I was like, wait a second. Called them up, I was like, oh, well, we're starting back up. Oh, okay, cancel me out, please. Oh, so good times, right? So speaking of gym, what kind of a gym membership is there for the inner self to really work on you to bring out the real you?
One of the things that comes up a lot is prayer and being mindful of your prayer life for those that are faith forward. I'm a devout Christian and Christ follower, and I believe in the power of prayer. And that plus the verse Romans 12:2, which talks about not conforming to the patterns of this world, but being renewed by your mind. And being in communion with the Lord, knowing that He is our ultimate provider, what He thinks of us and how we think of ourselves, both through mind and spirit, will come out in the way that we speak, in the way that we act, in the foods that we eat. All of it stems from strengthening our mind and our heart.
Yes. And I definitely agree. I do know that you got to have an ever growing personal relationship. It's a two-way street, right?
Mhm.
You have to talk and you have to shut up and listen. So many love to just talk and they don't listen. So for those people, and that's the majority of, the Christians, um, they love to talk and they wonder, did he even hear me? So they have to find a different source.
Mm.
because they don't get the fruits. Now, God takes care of them, they just don't realize it. If you ask an average person, how many times were you blessed today? Not really. Nothing really happened. I mean, I had to work. I had to deal with this person. I had to deal with this person. Oh, and I had to talk to my boss today. They'll tell you all the bad stuff that happened, right? Every bad thing, there was also a positive thing that happened there. You talked to your boss, but you didn't lose your job. You dealt with that angry coworker, but they didn't beat the crap out of you. There's always a blessing in every situation, right? So why do they look at that side versus the other side? It's because they don't have the right connections, or they're getting the right, I'm going to say it this way just because they don't get the right fruits. Because we're talking about the healthy fruits.
Perfect.
Yeah. So I definitely agree the number one way is having a relationship, because that's definitely going to strengthen you up. What's another good way?
Getting into nature,
Mm.
tapping into ocean, beach, surf and sand, the mountains, breathing in fresh mountain air,
Mm-hmm.
pine trees, going on a trail walk, identifying the beauty that is surrounding us versus focused so much on our own stuff we've got going on, the garbage
Mm-hmm.
and the negativity, getting away from cell service and cell towers
Mm.
You mean
because we're
I have
so
to put this
connected.
down?
We're so connected in this day and age
Mm-hmm.
that we just need to disconnect and connect in a different way.
Correct.
It's funny you bring that up, because I was able to study with the Navajo Indians, and they are very spiritual people. They really turn in. They really tune in to nature and everything nature has. Matter of fact, do you know something about the Navajos? Every time they
I'm
do the
sure you're going to
rain
tell me.
dance, it rains every single time. Do you know what the trick is to doing the rain dance?
Do it
I'm
when the
sure you're
first
going to tell
drops
me.
fall.
Do it what?
Do it when the first drops fall.
What'd you say, Jason?
I said, I'm sure you're going to tell me.
The trick is they do the rain dance until it rains. They don't just do it and is it going to rain? Because then doubt will come in, right? Well, see, I did the rain dance, it didn't happen. It is happening, just not when you thought. It's on its way, it's going to rain, but you're just not patient. So they do it until, so their mind stays in that focus. Come on, rain, come on, rain, come on, rain. And they stay there. Oh, there it is. Yay! Right? It's like there was this one person that I heard about. He asked this one guy, go over that mountain, see if the rain is coming, because the rain is coming. He was very confident. Rain is coming. Go look on top of that mountain to see if it's coming yet. No, it's not coming. Go look again. No, it's not coming. Go look again. No, it's not coming. Go look again. There's a small cloud. Hallelujah, it's raining. I said there's a small cloud. Hallelujah. The key is when you get the information, what do you do with it? So I love the Navajos that are tuned in to nature. They do it until it happens. Strength.
That's why they're 100% right.
Yes. And for me, I'd get very tired. Plus, I guess well, I was going to say something, but they live in a drier area, because the Navajos I studied under, uh, they were in Arizona. So it is a drier area than like where Mary or I or you are, you know. Um, if you want it to rain, you just throw some water from the ocean. Come on, let's go. What are some other ways that we can bring peace in or bring a better self-image? Because Mary just ticked me off.
I'm not surprised.
One of the key, not tasks, but core beliefs that I have is to speak what you want as if you have it. And these mantras, so to speak, will show up in different ways as you go about your day and your week and your month.
Mm-hmm.
And you can start jotting down what you say so you have a visual reminder of what it is that you want to become, what you want to do, what do you want to have, right? And the repetition doing it reinforces that positive outlook or outcome result. First step I always say in my coaching practice is awareness. The second step is action. So once you're aware, hey, something is off, I'm going to choose to do something about that. I have a negative attitude today. I'm going to stop, pause, do a mental rep, get me in the right mindset and attitude, and let that negative energy go. There's enough negativity in the world
Correct.
that good things are happening
Mm-hmm.
You have to look.
regardless of what's happening around you.
One of the ways I love, because you mentioned mental reps, the Navy SEALs, they do a mental rep that is so phenomenal, and it's simple that a lot of people don't even realize it, but it lets them get tortured and they don't even feel it. And when we breathe so little oxygen every single breath we take. However, if we focus in on our breathing, we actually get more in because our lungs can go like this. Most of the time, we go like this. And so the Navy SEALs do what's called a box breathing.
Mhm.
It's 4 seconds, 4 seconds, 4 seconds. You breathe in 4 seconds, hold it for 4 seconds, breathe out for 4 seconds, hold it for 4 seconds, and you just keep going in a circle. And by doing that, you're going to take all the air out, and you're going to hold it, then you're going to bring all the air in. And it really clears the inner side of you out. I found that when I do that, it also clears my mind. It also clears my focus. It also removes everything around me. There could be a war going on and I don't even see it because I'm now focused in on breath. So I love how the Navy SEALs do it. Now I can't do it as good as the Navy SEALs, but you can swim longer. You could be tortured and not feel it. That's why Navy SEALs can get tortured and they don't give up secrets because they don't even feel it. They can actually remove themselves from their body. I'm not that good.
You
But
do
there are
practice.
several ways that you can bring in clarity, bring in focus, remove yourself from that negative situation. Now, you probably know this. How many muscles or you might not know that, but smile and frowns, do you know the difference?
Takes twice as many muscles to frown than it does to smile.
Yeah, but more people frown than they do smile. Yet when you smile, it's an addiction because when you smile, somebody else has to smile, you know? And it's funny because a smile is uplifting. When I seen Mary smile, I'm like, yay! When I seen you smile, I was like, yay! Right? It's uplifting. When you frown, it's like, oh, I don't want to ask. I'm just going to leave it alone. I don't care what's going on in their life. I don't want to know.
It's good, David.
So, when you're working with your clients, let's pretend for a minute I'm one of your clients. I have a very bad self image. Um, I don't really think too good of life. Um, I don't think of myself. I don't even know why I'm here. How could you help me?
Well,
And I know I'm going to the
curiosity,
extreme.
naturally,
Hmm.
curiosity sets in. Say, how did we get here?
Probably some kind of disaster happened in their life and they just gave up.
Hmm. What kind of disaster?
I don't know, I'm making it up.
Oh, right. Um,
You caught me.
there's there's two different ways that we can look at it. One, we can entertain the thought of wherever that is going, right? Or we can hypothesize and say, what could it look like if this were flip-flopped?
Right.
Mhm,
What could you enjoy if you turned your thought and your perspective around?
mhm. Yeah, there was one coach I know. I loved how he did it. He walked up to a guy. I know why you can commit suicide. Why? Because you got red shoes on. Completely changed his focus. He got his mind off of what he was. He looked at his shoes and then he laughed. And then he says, now you're ready to be coached, aren't you? He's like, yes. You know, that was powerful. You know, redirecting the mind is a key point.
Mhm.
How fast, and that's the difference between a coach and a counselor. We're going to redirect you and get you moving fast. You know, like I said before, I don't care why you're frowning. I don't want to know. Let's just move on. So, Mary, I see there's wonderful trees back there.
My outside office is out there,
One of
but
the
my
things,
Wi-Fi is not very good out there, so I have to come into my inside office.
Right.
one of the things that my clients know when we are during sessions is that I ask them, catch me up. What are we celebrating?
I love it.
Because I don't want them to just dive into all of their problems. We'll get to them, but we're going to start off with a win. It
Hmm.
doesn't matter how small.
Same, I do the same. I'm like, tell me three things that positive that happened today. And
Absolutely.
I'm like, did you wake up? I did. Did you have food to eat? I did. And then you kind of start them and then they're like, oh, and then this, and then this. I'm like, okay.
It's wild, and
It's
yet
flipping that script.
Yep.
and yet when they start to think about their situation, oh, we don't have much that we're celebrating. Literally at the end of a call, I listed off 12 things that this couple was celebrating and were actually successes, no matter how small they were.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, oh, we're not celebrating much. I
One
beg
of
to
the
differ.
celebrations I love is, did you pass any cops today? Were you speeding? Because 99% of the people in this world, they don't follow the speed laws. I typically do 5
Suggestion.
over in the city and 10 over on the freeway. That's not following the laws. That's going right under where I don't get a ticket. You know, um, I have a lead foot. If I don't use cruise control, I've been known to flip the speedometer. So, um, I love to go with the speeding. What were you speeding today? And you didn't get a ticket? Wow. That's a blessing. That's a win.
Mm-hmm.
You know, how can the wins improve our image?
It builds momentum. Winning is contagious.
For sure.
A lot of people like winning. They watch their favorite sports teams and they want to see them win. And the more that they win, the more exciting it gets.
Mm-hmm.
I love it when you said that. Do you watch basketball?
I watch March Madness.
Well, they're in the playoffs right now. Right now, it is the final games. Today is game one at 8:30, I believe. Um, Now my team, Detroit Pistons, got knocked out. They made it to the playoffs, but they got knocked out. I think they made it to the second round. But even though my team's not in, I still watch every single playoff game because they're awesome. Even if I miss it, I watch the replays because that's real basketball. That's high energy. That's, hey, look, we made it here. We got to show our A game, right? Talking about momentum. That's high extreme momentum. They're on the Detroit Pistons, one of the Pistons, his lung collapsed. He should have been out the rest of the season. But you know what? He was out, I think, 2 weeks. He was back in. That's a trooper. Collapsed lung and you're still in the game. You know? Talk about momentum. I love momentum.
Some serious box breathing.
A little more difficult with the collapsed lung, I'm just going to say, from the nursing side.
Mm-hmm.
And yet, imagine the fortitude that this player had
Right.
and the focus and determination to come back from that obstacle,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
the mental toughness,
Mm-hmm.
the
So it's tough.
drive, the drive that he had to say, hey, I'm coming back.
Mm-hmm.
And in 2 weeks, I'm back.
Mm-hmm. Now, we always say every celebrity, every sports person, every successful person has at least one coach.
Mhm.
This person here probably has 3 or 4 coaches because somebody was pushing him hard. But the coaches nobody ever talks about. That's the hidden part of the person,
We're the
the part
secret
that pushes
sauce.
them. What's that?
We're the secret sauce.
Yep. The ghostwriter, the one that writes the book that nobody knows about.
true.
So, what is the toughest client you have had? The one that was in the worst image that you had to bring to having a better self image?
This particular client would come to me frequently. I am crashing out. I am having the worst day ever. And it was this recurring theme. And I thought, okay, if I'm going to be this person's coach, we need to get out of that negative headspace
Right.
quickly. And for me to get curious and ask a bunch of questions, what happened today? Okay. Pointing out different things along the way that were positives, right? My slogan, tagline for the business is providing hope for a positive future.
Okay.
And it's because I know what spiraling into negativity feels like. It's not fun. And the world is better off with you in it than not in it.
Correct.
With this particular client, we worked on handwriting 10 times different mantras. I am loved. I am enough. I am turning my life around, right? Just a few of the different mantras that we would speak over our life. And she would text me images of her on a vacation or something with her journal, with the stuff that she wrote down, saying it multiple times per day to remind herself of those things, those truths.
Hey, that's great.
Because all of the negativity is lies spread by the enemy that wants to keep you down.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yep. You know, and I love how you said that because I'm going to use people because enemy comes in a lot of different ways. But when people are above you, they're better than you are. They want to pull you up. They want you to succeed as well. When people are beneath you, not as good as you are, they're jealous and they want to pull you down. So it's always key to be around the right people because you don't want to be pulled down. But you always have those negative people. The enemy comes in many different ways. And I know sometimes they'll start rumors that are not true. I had this I know this one guy, uh, he's a very successful person. And as he was starting out, something that he was doing was said that was false, that he was doing these things were false and it was not proper.
Mm.
One of the people that is actually helping him out now came to him because they heard that he was doing it false and found out about him because negativity sells. Um, so it turned out to be a very good thing if you used it in the right way, but it was very negative to start. Another guy was being tortured and they were making claims on him. Well, if you are, and because of this, one of the people said, well, if everybody's claiming this, you must be. So, hey, can you remember me?
Mm.
And so, even when the bad stuff comes, do you focus on the bad or do you focus on what can you get out of it? Because somebody's jealous of where you are. That's why, they're starting. Because if I'm not doing anything, nobody's going to attack me. Nobody's going to accuse me of anything because I'm not a threat to nobody.
Yeah.
But if I'm a threat, they're going to try to set me up, make false accusations, do whatever they can to bring me down. So I love how you said that, you know, um, and that is a big key.
You said something that really got my wheels spinning, and it's people who want to see you succeed bring you up. Having a community of other like-minded people that have been through similar struggles and challenges, that have worked other people through those similar struggles and challenges, is refreshing and much needed in today's day and age, where everything is, oh, do what you like and be alone. No, we weren't meant to be alone.
Right.
We were meant to be in community.
Yep.
I've heard it takes, you should have a minimum of 8 hugs per day for maintenance.
Hmm.
And so I just want to go stand out on a corner somewhere with a sign that says free hugs.
Great hugs.
What number are you at today? Did you hit 8?
You know, it's funny you say that because I watch these videos on YouTube sometimes, and it's like, got to hug 100 people, and they're out there trying to give people hugs, and the response, they're recording everything because it's all, for a show, right?
Sure.
Or they're trying to do 200 handshakes, or different things, but they're trying to get like an extreme amount of number, and they're just going up to people trying to get responses. So when you said that, it kind of put that in my mind again. It's like I haven't seen those in a long time, but it kind of put that in my mind. It was like, you know what? What if I go out to the street and aim for 100 hugs?
Why
You
not?
know. Now another question for you. So you need 8 a day. If I get 8, 16, 32, if I get 32 hugs, does that mean I'm covered for 4 days?
I don't know if they carry over.
You knew I was going to go there. Come on now.
This isn't like rollover minutes.
Hey, I have a logistical
Remember those?
mind. I have a logistical mind, so I'm going to think math, right?
It's consistency over time.
Mm-hmm.
It's the repetition every day. The warm embrace of another person says, hey, I'm going to share this load with you, whatever you're going through. Holding space for someone to be able to share freely without judgment, to say, hey, I'm struggling with this. I hear you.
Mm-hmm.
So was this person. And guess what we did? We turned that around. Here's how you do it.
Powerful. I love that. And when you're getting those hugs, because we know we need to be around the people you become around is what you're going to become like later on down the road. You always want to you want to be around people that are above you because they're going to pull you up and you're not going to be in the same place. So hanging around people that are in better positions than you, that can draw you up, and getting hugs from them, does that make the hugs more powerful?
No,
Oh,
no. They're equally powerful. Any hug is powerful
hmm,
because you are embracing another person and saying, regardless of what my feelings are towards you, I'm going to show you empathy and love and compassion.
so your significant other, like for us, a women, or for Mary, her husband, those don't count. It's other people that you have to hug, right?
I think we're talking semantics here. I
Logistical
think
mind.
I think maybe not 8 hugs from just the same person, but I don't know. I didn't come up with the research or
Right.
statistics or data on around it.
So I know that it's key to make sure that we um, smile, hug, do different things like that because we were created to love and to be loved. So
Mm-hmm.
making sure that we're in that environment, I would say majority of the time, try to limit the depressing moments.
Mm-hmm.
If it's bad, get out of there. Unless you're trying to save someone, but then limit your time, right? If people are going to pull you down, you don't need to be there.
Right.
You want to be in places that are going to promote, lift, build, strengthen, give you that extra oomph. So, with that being said, where's the best place to go?
Where's the best place to go for what specifically?
Support, strength, hugs, um, handshakes, building, encouragement, lifting up.
There's 2 words that kind of come to mind, even though they sound the same. Church with a big C and church with a little c. And I
Normally, I wouldn't
once,
go there, but I'm curious. What's the difference between the big C and the little c?
big C is kind of globally,
Mm.
right, as an entity, and little c is your community, the place you frequent, whether it's someone's home or a building, as you said. And I saw a really great marquee one time, and it's still with me today. It says CH blank blank CH. What's missing?
Sure.
You are.
That's very good.
I like that. Well, I'm going to say this, and this is not in an offensive way. Matter of fact, you got this from these type of people. Okay, so it is not said in any offensive way. But do you know what you call a Baptist? Buzzard
Stumped.
Baptist. Because they buzz in for the food and they buzz out. Um, I actually got that from a Southern Baptist church, and every single time you went there, they always had food. And I got that from somebody there. So it's not meant in an offensive way. It's just a humorous thing, right?
Disclaimer in the link below.
You should put a disclaimer. No, I didn't know I was going to use that. So usually I don't use religious stuff here. So usually I don't have nothing like that. So it's a rarity for me.
Yeah.
But I'm a fit guy. I mean, you can't tell seeing from the chest above, but I enjoy food. I'm not Baptist, but I sure do enjoy food. Uh, anyhow, I guess that's enough about that. So, Mary, we haven't heard from you much today.
I'm enjoying the conversation.
How have you strengthened one of your clients that had a low self-image?
I start every session with them. I started with the 3 positives that happened today, and they really couldn't do it. I'm like, all right, give me one. And they're like, and so I started, well, did you wake up today? Oh, yeah. Did you have food? Uh-huh. What else happened? Oh, then they went on, and then they could recognize it. Once you broke the dam open, then they could, okay, then it started to flood in. And that's powerful, just being able to help somebody flip the script like that.
I saw a really powerful video recently, and it's this person that has two lighters, the handheld lighters, puts one of the lighters in a glass and pours a little water in it. And it talks about different things, negative things that happen in their life, pours a little bit more water, and then just pours until it's completely engulfed the lighter in the glass. Takes it out, tries to light it, doesn't light. Sometimes it takes a spark
Mm.
and both were lit. And just that brainstorming activity of 3 positives, 1 positive, let's get the spark going.
Right.
Mhm.
Something that will bring you out and say, that's who I knew you could be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's what came to mind. Thanks for
I love
sharing
it.
that, Mary.
You're welcome. I use that a lot. I use with some of my clients, I'm like, okay, because they're like, I got so much debt and I just don't know where my money goes, and I just don't know why I don't have any at the end of the month. And I'm like, okay, we're at the beginning. Like if we were doing it now, we're at the beginning of the month. So take out a piece of paper, and literally a piece of paper, and write 1 through 31. And every day before you go to bed, write down what you spent that. Be it I paid bills, I did whatever. And got to the end and talked to them the next month, and they're like, I'm so glad you did that exercise. And I'm like, why? Well, it made me realize where my money was going. And it also made me not stop at the store a couple times because I didn't want to have to write it down. I'm like, okay, it's that awareness. If you're not sure where your money's going.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I love how you said that, Mary, because it's not about how much money you make,
Nope.
because you've got about 90% of this world, 90% of the United States, that they make all ranges of money and they still live paycheck to paycheck.
Mm-hmm.
The exact figure is 88% as of 2 years ago. But the thing is some of them are making $30,000 and $40,000 per month, and they still are living paycheck to paycheck. It's not the money you make;
Nope.
it's when you make more money, you think you can spend more, but you don't even
Mhm.
realize it. You know.
It's the whole not making a plan for your money.
hmm I know when I first paid attention to my money the very first time, I realized I was spending over $4,000 eating out, just eating out, not groceries, just eating out. Because in my book, it was cheaper for me to eat out than it was to eat at home because I don't eat leftovers and I'd be wasting a lot of food. When I laid that out, I was like, I could buy $4,000 of food, throw half away, and still be cheaper. But, being
Or
a,
you could learn to eat leftovers and not waste. I'm just saying.
Or you
but
could invite someone over. I mean, let's just
Right.
saying.
the latter part, right? So the thing is, or get a dog. The thing is being aware makes a big difference,
Mhm.
because then I was able to cut down. Well, I only eat out once a week now. The rest of the time I eat at home and I do just fine,
Mhm.
you know. Um, I don't spend nowhere near as much as I used to
Mhm.
by making one small change. So being aware of things is definitely key. And I think being aware of things helps improve your image as well.
Yes.
I think,
You know,
like Jason is talking about, being aware of your surroundings and the positives that are around you and letting that infuse into your soul instead of all the negativity. I think that is very key.
Mhm.
You make your choices. You can choose to go, life stinks, or you can choose to say, I'm going to find something positive.
Yep. I know when you're in the top 10% bracket, there's restaurants you go to that you only go to for an image because the proportion is smaller, but they charge you a lot more. Like when I went there, I would have to go to another restaurant to actually eat. Um, so sometimes you spend more than you need to because you're trying to uphold a higher image.
Mm.
Is your image really that important? Just saying. People will get to know who you are for who you are. You don't have to show up at a place to say who you are. So, speaking of image, I like to talk about three things. Now, the first thing I'm going to talk about, we were talking about today about you need to be in a community, you need to be joined up around other people. So, we have a good practice for that. We have a community every single Friday, well, a community inside of YouTube, and we meet every single Friday. And the link is in the description for the calendar, and you can find all the events. We actually meet on Fridays, 2:30 Eastern, 1:30 Central, here on in a meeting room virtual, so it doesn't matter where you're at. And it's just we get to talk, chill, have fun, and just enjoy just being around like-minded people of encouraging each other. So check it out in the description below because you will enjoy to come. Second thing, we were talking about exercises, mental fitness. We have a little mental fitness support system that will actually help strengthen your awareness and your fitness areas where you can do daily exercises and strengthen your mind. Again, the link is in the description below. And Jason, tell us about an image that you have.
I have an image and a dream that everyone that I touch or interact with will be better because I was able to encourage them and lift them up, and that I can save one more marriage from the brink of disaster by them taking control of their finances and finally saying, we're done with this way of living. We're moving into a different pattern.
That is awesome, Jason.
And is there a way that they can get a hold of you?
The link is in the description. I believe that's how I'm supposed to say that. Email for those of you that are listening, madsenfinancialcoaching@gmail.com.
Well, Jason, I have to say it was an honor having you here. It's always a blast when you're here. We look forward to the next time you come, which Mary will book that as well. But it was awesome to have you here. Any final words that you have for us?
I'm going to end with a very common phrase that I use: be blessed and go be a blessing. Thank you for having me.
Mary, any final words?
I'm just going to say what I always say. Y'all got to just do the darn thing, get it done.